Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is February 11th, 2014. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We're going to start off with the S&P 500 E-mini futures. You're going to see that the futures were flying high right around 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, but they have pulled back off the morning highs. They're still positive by about 4.5 points, but you'll see this big candle right here, wide range candle. There were some comments made by Janet Yellen saying that they're going to continue with the taper. However, they're going to keep interest rates low. They're not going to make any kind of interest rate hike, but they're going to continue to taper their quantitative easing. That should really be no surprise to anybody. But we did see the market come off a little bit there. Now, surprisingly, with that statement, we did see the dollar yen pop. So the dollar yen jumped higher, dollar yen goes higher. It's usually a positive for the overall stock market indexes, and it's usually a negative for gold. So now we're going to switch over to the GLD, the gold market, good proxy for gold. And you'll see that gold's been all over the map, but nonetheless, gold is higher today by about 8 points at the moment to around 1282.5 per ounce. So the gold market's still holding up very, very well despite the spike in the dollar yen chart. That means when the dollar yen goes higher, it means the Japanese yen is moving lower. But gold is still holding in there very, very well this morning. All right, let's get back to the S&P 500 index, which is up about 5 points this morning before the opening bell. We'll see where this thing shakes out today. Again, Janet Yellen, the new Federal Reserve Chairman, she will be testifying in front of Congress today and tomorrow. This is what we call the Humphrey Hawkins testimony, although I hear very few people talk about that, use that term anymore. She will be testifying. We'll see if the politicians can stump her, or what are they going to say to her. This is her first ever testimony in front of Congress, so we'll see how that goes. Nonetheless, there are a lot of things in motion today, but before we get started, I want to just talk about Asia last night. Asian markets were up for the most part. Nikkei 225 index was up 1.77%. Remember, when the dollar yen goes up, the Nikkei 225 goes up. The Shanghai Composite was up another 0.8% last night, so decent little move there. So really no problems coming out of the Asian market from what I could see. And then you take a look at the European markets. They're all holding up well today. The German DAX, the biggest winner, up about 1.4% today. So Germany's doing very, very well. German DAX leading the charge there. The London FTSE 100, which is a country that can print their own money, England is up, or I should say London FTSE 100 is up 0.8%. So decent move there. So really no real negatives out here so far for the market today, with the S&P definitely floundering a little bit here, and we'll have to watch that. Now, there are a lot of stocks in the news. The first one I'm going to start off with today is a stock called Infoblox. The stock closed at $33.14. It's trading at $19.44. I just don't have a level for this. The stock really came into, I guess, debuted in around May 2012. It opened up for public trading, but this is not a pretty picture when you see a decline like this. It's definitely oversold, but I can't find a level, and when I see something like this, I have to just tend to leave it alone. The double bottom on this chart is all the way down to around 1373, but there's not much I would do with this equity, with this, when I see a stock like this fall this much in a single session. So the stock is down, I believe, over 15 points at the moment. That's just a huge, huge decline. But I really don't have a level for this one, to be honest. So it's down 41%. But this is just, par for the course. Next stock we're going to take a look at is going to be CVS Caremark. Stock's trading at 68.29, closed at 66.94. So it has a little bit of upside here. They did report some news. I believe earnings were better than expected. So a decent little move for CVS. Levels on this are a little bit tough. You're going to probably watch around the $69 level. That would be the big resistance intraday. But it actually can trade higher because it's it's a decent gap. But I would watch for resistance around $69. Whether or not to short it really would depend on the intraday chart pattern there. But we'll see how that one plays out. But watch for resistance around 69. Next one we're going to look for is Rackspace Hosting. This stock is getting hammered today. I do have a gap level for this one. So if you want that level, please come over to the chat room. That will be posted at 9 a.m. Here's Urban Outfitters. Ticker symbol is URBN. And this one is also getting hit today. Closed at $37.21. Or 37, yeah, right around 37.21. Now trading at around 36.15. It was a little bit lower. It has come back a little bit. But I will have gap levels for this one as well. So we'll keep this one on the radar. Next one we're going to look at here is Nuance Communications. They had earnings, I believe, also. Stock closed at $15.76. It's trading at $15.60. If it does trade higher, keep an eye on $16.45 to $16.50. Should be very, very good resistance. If it does fall, and I don't know if it's going to make this kind of a move, watch the $14 level for support. So that's what you want to watch for Nuance. Resistance is at $16.45. Support is around $14. So keep that one on your radar. Next one we're going to look at is Annie's. Annie's Inc. This is a organic salad and products maker. Right now the stock is trading at $38.19. It closed at $41.83. I will have some gap levels for this one. So come on over to the chat room. Gap levels will be posted up for Annie's. I will have gap levels for this one. We'll see how this one plays out going forward. But nonetheless, I will have, I believe, some gap levels for this one. Next one I want to talk about real quick is this ComScore. Ticker symbol is SCOR. And I believe they signed some type of deal with Google. I don't have a great level for this, but I'd say around $33, $33.25. That's where traders should watch for real big resistance to come in. So again, right now it's fine. It's coming off of a bullish pattern, but watch when it gets to around $33.20, $33.15. That's really where this equity is going to hit a lot of resistance. So keep that on the radar. If you do own it, I would start to trail the stop up there at those levels. Let's take a look at Barclays. They're in the news again today. I don't know what today's news is all about, but I do know that they did lay off 12, or they will cut 12,000 workers. So again, the stock right now trading at around $17.32. It closed at $18.21 yesterday. There's still a lot of support around the 17 level, so keep that on the radar today if it does get back down there. But they did lay off 12,000 employees. So again, that's what we're seeing, at least so far at the moment. There's a lot of other stocks in the news. I believe WebMD is another one. I think this was an earnings play. WebMD selling off a little bit. It looks like, yeah, they raised guidance in the fourth quarter. But so you could read all this stuff yourself. They announced a $50 million stock buyback. But we're not seeing that great of a reaction. You had a big reaction yesterday after the closing bell. Right now it's trading at $44.90. If this stock gets down to around $40.64, that's a level that you can look to jump in on a scalp play. So scalp, remember, is nothing more than a quick day trade. But watch $40.64. Very, very good support level there for WebMD. And that's what I'm seeing at the moment. Let's take a look at the oil market this morning. Oil is up 32 cents above the $100 mark. So surprisingly, oil is above $100, trading at $100.39 a barrel. We're going to move over to the USO. What you're going to see here is that the USO, which is a good proxy for trading light sweet crude, trading at 35.77. I have to say, if it gets up to around 36, you should expect very, very good resistance there. 35.85 was yesterday's resistance. Today would be $36. But nonetheless, oil's holding up pretty well this morning. Let's go to the gold market. Gold has started to pull back a little bit more with that stronger dollar yen, but it's still up about $5 on the session. Right now, gold is trading at $1,279 an ounce, but expect this to be pretty turbulent today. I think the upside for gold right now is probably somewhat limited, but I love the pattern that gold is making. It's going sideways. It's a pretty nice little pattern overall. Real quick before we end today's broadcast here, we'll go to the futures. Futures are up just 3 points now. They have started to come in. I want you to take a look at the dollar yen chart. Looking at how the dollar yen has started to fall here. So again, as soon as the dollar yen starts to go lower, that is going to affect the stock market. It will generally help gold though. So again, dollar yen goes down, gold should start to move back up. So keep an eye on that dollar yen chart. This chart is probably the most important currency pair chart that you can follow at this time. And again, I think that the correlations here will not last forever, but they're in play very, very well right now. Remember, if dollar yen goes up, the market goes up. Gold goes down. Dollar yen goes down. Gold goes up, and the market goes down. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. That's what we're seeing, and I'll see everybody on the charts.